So we all know about Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. It's all set for April. But Amanda Serrano at the press conference challenged Katie Taylor. Hey, let's do it for 3 minute 12 rounds. And was this cap? Was this all hype? Was this just for promotion, or does she really want this? Because again, the contracts have already been signed, and we all know that the WBC will not allow them to fight 3 minute rounds. We all know the WBC will not allow them to fight 12 rounds. And back in 2017, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Katie Taylor, when it was on record, asking for a 12 round 3 minute fight, and she was denied because of the WBC. So is this a kind of like just a hype job for Amanda Serrano, or is this all, or does she really want this? And did she really believe that it could happen? Start with you, Boxing Dev.
Okay, I think Amanda knows that the longer the fight lasts, she's going to win. She's going to beat Katie. That's the reason that Katie doesn't want to fight 3 minutes, 3 to 12 rounds, because she's sold. That is hurting me, but Katie is old. She's 35 years old. We didn't saw the same Katie as always in her last fights. So I think Amanda is pushing this because she knows she can beat her in a fight of 3 to 12. That's the reason. It's not for marketing. She knows she can beat her, but she needs a long fight.
Okay, all right. D-Star, what do you think, man? Is this all just for hype? I mean, the contract's already signed. You can't go changing them now.
Man, it's just this is new era cap on layaway is what this is. Okay, let me tell you something. Okay, let me tell you something. If Amanda was about that 12 times 3 life, she would already had a fight that was 3 minutes rounds. She's never in her career had a 3 minute round fight ever. And everybody talks about all her accomplished. She's been pro longer than Katie. She's been around the pro game a lot longer than Katie Taylor, right? I keep hearing, oh, because Amanda wants to make the moves, bring the sport to another level. Look, let's just be honest for a moment. The A side's Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor's the one that put the Olympics on the map. She's a 2-time gold medalist. Okay, like she made it popular in Ireland and the UK for women's boxing. Inspired a lot of little girls over there to take up boxing. She's the one that became a 7-figure fighter, not because some YouTuber hooked her up, but because she generated that. Okay, and now you're gonna now Amanda's part of this. It's a big event, and she's part of it. But make no mistake about it, Katie Taylor's the one that made all this happen. And in my opinion, it's disrespectful for boxing fans, especially ones that haven't really been watching women's boxing. Now, look, I'll confess, I haven't been watching it that long, but I've been following it a little bit for the last year and a half or so. But people just come out and they're like, yeah, well, why don't they do 3 minutes 12? Like they put her in a spot in a way where now she's expected to answer why she won't do 12 rounds, 3 minutes, when Clarissa Shields never had to do that. Layla Ali never had to do that. Kristen Martin never had to do that. Lucia Riker never had to do that. You know who else never had to do that to prove her greatness? Right? Amanda Serrano never had to do that. Right? All right. But now you got the Garden. Now you got this big event. You got this platform. And look, I'm not buying. And I'm not even saying there's something wrong with this, but I'm not buying the innocent girl act from Amanda Serrano. I'm not, okay? Posting pictures like, oh, I want to thank my opponent. She was a Mexican warrior. But like it's a picture you punching her in the face that doesn't make her look that flattering, and she keeps doing that to opponents. Now, I think it's savage. I think it's a hell of a move, but I'm just saying I don't buy the good girl, innocent thing. I don't buy it was just a suggestion. She doesn't have to do it if she doesn't want to. I respect Katie Taylor. I mean, if she doesn't want to, it's okay. Like, because you're trying to put yourself like above her, okay? Look, if you want to show you're better than Katie Taylor, you got your opportunity, all right? Serena Williams never got challenged to do more sets in a tennis game to prove her greatness by some other player, okay? Like, the rules are the rules. These are the rules you agree to, and you wait to the second press conference to bring this up. Not even the first press conference. This is all cap. She ain't about the 12 by 3 life. If she was, she would have already done it.
Ring, the contracts are already signed. Does this even make sense to bring it up now?
No, and I'm glad that Ebony Bridges was asked about that, because Ebony Bridges gave the same. She said it the way that I thought it. That anybody that buys into this is like, you'd have to be slow to actually believe that this is what she wants. This is all cap. If you wanted this, you would have negotiated it beforehand. You've already done the fight. For us to go through with what you're suggesting, we'd have to go to the New York State Athletic Commission, go to the WBA, the WBC, the WBO, and the IBF, petition all of them to sanction the fight for 12, not even 3-minute rounds, not just 12 3-minute rounds. You know that's not likely to happen. So what you're doing is trying to make me look bad, and I've maintained my original position throughout. Amanda never wanted this fight. She wants the money. That's all it's about. It's the money. At the end of the day, she knows I just struggled to knock out Yemi Mercado at 126 pounds because she moved around a little bit. I just fought Miriam Gutierrez at 135 pounds. I couldn't knock her out even though I was landing. With Katie, who's a harder target than them, I need an edge because I don't have one. She's harder to hit than they are. So let's try for 12 3-minute rounds. I know it's not going to work, but at minimum, I make her look bad. Amanda's nervous. That's all it is. It's the walls closing in on her because she's had advantages in every single fight she's ever had. And the D Styles point, which is 100% facts, if you wanted to fight for 3-minute rounds, you would have done so already. Like Marlene Esparza. Most people don't know she fought for 3-minute rounds as a professional. She did once. If that's what you really wanted, you would have been doing that. But maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, they asked you about 3-minute rounds. And you said, I don't need them. I'm a knockout artist. So that a few weeks later, you could change your mind. It looks like what it looks like, bro. It's fucking cap. It's fucking cap. Nobody believe you, bro. Nobody believe you.
Maestro, is this cap or not?
It's all the way cap. I mean, this is Brian Seltzer on CNN. This is Rachel Maddow on MSNBC. This is fucking Sean Hannity on Fox News. This is Fauci lying his ass off about gain of function research and mask wearing and the effectiveness of this leaky vaccine that still lets you get sick and catch COVID. But that, by the way, they want to inject in the 5-year-olds. This is all-time levels cap. It's so absurd. Oh, we just signed a contract. Oh, we're just doing press conferences. Oh, this is sanctioned for 4 titles. But by the way, we're going to change the competitive nature of this engagement altogether. And by the way, if you don't agree to it, well, I kind of think I'm going to look good, and my fans are going to think that I'm looking good, and your fans are going to look at you like you're not ready for me and you're a coward or you can't engage in what you already signed on to do. It's absurd. But unfortunately, I brought up the corporate mainstream pro-capitalist, pro-product selling media as an example of, unfortunately, what's gone on with boxing, especially on YouTube. You've got channels that are essentially free PR work. I mean,
Yes.
apparently people can just wake up in the morning and have nothing better to do than act like free PR people for their favorite fighters. You know, let me get up, let me take a shit, then let me go get some coffee, then let me go to the bathroom, then let me get in front of my computer and lie. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is an absurd assertion, an absurd request. I don't know what really the intention was because it's never going to happen. And yeah, it's serious cap, Joe, and I'm going to leave it at that.
All right, Mario, do you believe this? Do you think that Serrano really wants 3 12-minute rounds for this fight?
No, not at all. Look, here's the deal, right? Ring IQ said it the best, okay? They wouldn't even be able to sanction this. They would have had to have gone, you know, to all the organizations and sanctioning bodies and the athletic commissions to get them to alter the entire sport. You can't just do it for one fight. Think about it like this. Think about that they signed Terrence Crawford Spence, right? And Spence is at the at the whatever, it doesn't matter, like I guess at the weigh-in or whatever. And he's saying, well, we should do 15 rounds. I'm an old school fighter. Let's do 15 rounds, motherfucker. Like, let's fight for all the belts with 15. It's like, you can't do that. You can't just
Let's dip our gloves in fucking resin and glass.
Boxer style, yo, good reference.
Fuck
I
it.
love that.
Let's go bare knuckle and do it with the BKFC.
Exactly.
Why don't we just
That's
do that shit?
100%
Let's go down
what
Washington
this is.
Square Park and fight with bats.
Exactly. Now, I do want to say this, though. I do want to make this point. If Amanda's intentions were to somehow try to like soften the blow for casual fans that, you know, hopefully are going to tune into this because this is one of the biggest fights that women's boxing could ever put on. And if she's doing it to, I guess, bring up the narrative and start the change, that's cool, I guess. I don't think that's what it was for. I think the panel's absolutely right. I think she was just trying to make her look bad. But, you know, ultimately, I remember when Miesha Tate and Rousey fought, right? Going back to MMA in Strikeforce. And that fight at the time seemed like a good fight. It was a cool fight. You can draw a line from that fight to where women's MMA and the UFC became, you know, a big marketable thing, a machine, you know, with Rousey and Amanda Nunes and them getting sponsors. Like, you can draw a line, you know what I'm saying? From that point to where we are now, that fight was historic for putting women's MMA on the map. That's what this fight could be. So to promote it in any way you can, to push out whatever narratives, and there's plenty of good narratives here. You know, she beat Cindy Serrano, her sister. You know, there's a lot of good things about this fight. So ultimately, they can stop with the nonsense and let the fight promote itself.
Gotcha. Did you want to add anything, Boxing Dev? You seem like you want to say something.
Yeah, I want to say a lot of things, but my English tonight is not good.
All right.
I think I don't know. Anybody here think that Amanda can beat Katie?
No.
Can she? Yes.
Can she? Yes. But I'm picking Katie.
I think you have to respect her. Yeah, but I would pick Katie in this fight.
I think Katie Taylor's a clear favorite.
But I think Amanda Serrano definitely deserves her respect going into this fight.
If you think Amanda could win, you stand your square and you let people know you think Amanda could win.
Yeah,
I don't think she can win. Her corner lost his mind just because Jamie Mercado moved a little bit in a fight that they were winning. He lost his mind just because she wouldn't stand at one spot and trade. They know that Jamie doesn't do that. That's why they picked her. They saw the Rascon fight. Yeah. They saw the Guzman fight. They know that girl. She's a piñata. I love her, but she's a piñata. She moved just a little bit, and he flew off the handle. He got to call her out her name. And
I'm picking Katie.
I'm picking Katie. I'm picking Katie on points. And that's why Amanda's coming apart at the seams. Yeah. I feel like a part of her actually wanted to try to do that, and she wanted to spring it on Katie, make her look bad, but at the same time, see if she's willing to do it. But it's too late. You signed the contract already. You can't change
You can see that we have two fights here. You have two fights. The first one is the mental fight. You know, Katie is not the same Katie as the Katie of 2019. Okay, she's not the same. Her level is down, and everybody knows that. And I think Amanda has never wanted this fight because she's been avoiding Katie since, I don't know, 2018 maybe. So, but we have two fights here. We have the age fight because Katie is old and Amanda is younger than Katie, but Katie is bigger than Amanda. So Amanda hasn't decided to fight in lightweight. Because when she fought in lightweight, okay, she came here to Argentina, she fought against Maria Maderna, she beat her. Hey, but Katie is not one of that fighters. So we have two fights here. First, the mental fight, and the age fight. So, who wins the first fight, the mental one, is going to beat the other one.
I want to say this to Lucia.
And wait.
Amanda perdió la batalla mental porque ella quiere cambiar la circunstancia. 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Tú dile que no es cierto, tú dile que no es cierto.
Pero mírenlo de esta forma. ¿Cuánto pelean las mujeres? 20 minutos. Un hombre tenés 45. You know, en esta pelea que la estamos esperando hace mucho tiempo, lo más grande en el main event, en el Madison Square Garden, ¿te gustaría que dure más? Sí.
Y yo te estoy diciendo, Lucía, que esas son pendejadas, porque esa misma niña hace como 5 semanas ella dijo, yo no necesito 3 minutos, yo soy knockout puncher, yo no necesito 3 minutos. Ahora tú quieres 3 minutos y 12 asaltos.
So just
Ella está nerviosa.
to
She's
summarize,
nervous.
I got to summarize this for the people that don't speak Spanish. So Ring IQ
Sorry.
was essentially saying that, again, this is all cap. And Boxing Dev was essentially saying that this is a huge fight, and who wouldn't want to see this for longer at Madison Square Garden, because it's only 20 minutes versus a men's fight, which is much longer. But unfortunately, Boxing Dev, and unfortunate for Serrano, they've signed on to this fight. And we have been watching women's boxing for a while now, and championship fights are 10-2. That's just what they are.
Boxing Dev.
This right now at the last minute, after a thing has already been signed, it's like a day late and like $1 million too short.
Boxing Dev. This would be like me selling you a house, right? And we already closed on the deal. And then I come to you a day later and say, I'm going to add $25,000 to the price of the house. What would you do? We already signed it, right? We can't change it now, right?
Yeah.
But I will say this though, don't let this panel make you think that most people are going for Katie. It's pretty 50-50 for what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
But the way
I think Katie is going to walk her down and get inside, and I think Serrano's going to have a hard time keeping Katie off. I think Katie's just too strong for her. Brother. I think she's too strong for her.
Okay, yeah. I'm saying the 3-12 because I'm a biggest fan of boxing, and for example, when Katie fought against Delphine Persoon, if that fight was 3-12, was going to be amazing because it was a war. So okay, what is trying to do Serrano right now? I don't know. Maybe she's playing. She doesn't want to fight.
Ella es mala, Lucía. Tú no sabes que esa tipa estaba vendiendo droga en los gimnasios en el Bronx. Esa tipa estaba vendiendo droga. Ella y el cuñado vendiendo droga. Esa gente son malas. Son malas esa gente.
So people are selling drugs apparently.
Drugs in the Bronx.
They were selling. Operation Dumbbell was a sting operation by the New York Police Department, where they were selling performance-enhancing drugs. Her, Jordan Maldonado, and her sister Cindy, they're anglers. They've always been anglers. That's why they never fought Daniela Bermudez at 118, even though she had a belt. They want to bring her up to 126. Why didn't you fight at 118 after she beat Barbie Juarez? Why you don't fight these people at the weights that they be at? You a 7-division champion. They anglers, man. Anglers.
I thought the behavior during the last fight, to speak to a woman like that, to speak to a competitive athlete like that, was outrageous. I thought it was. I just thought it was outrageous. Bunch of clowns.
Which, by the way, goes back to my I know later, Amanda came out and was like giving her praise, calling her a Mexican warrior, but again. Oh, she was such a great warrior, but you're showing pictures of punching her in the face, and it's not making her look that flattering in the process.
She's passive aggressive.
It's passive aggressive for sure. And then when she was being interviewed, passive aggressive. Okay, my trainer just meant that that she's a Mexican warrior, and we thought she was going to come fight. Come on.
Yeah. All right, let's move along.